Today we're going to be looking at the Northern Rail Trail in central New Hampshire. That's this section right here. Zooming in closer, the trail goes from Lebanon all the way down to Boscawen. It's about 58 miles. This leg of the Northern Rail Trail that starts in Canaan and ends in Boscawen is about 44 miles. I'm going to zoom in and I'll show you each area along the way and some suggestions of where you might want to eat or sleep. I started the Northern Rail Trail in Canaan. It has places to eat. It was a nice parking spot. There's a place to load up. It has electricity if you needed. There's a pizza place nearby. So this was a good location to start. If I went west, I could have went to Lebanon, but I chose to go to Boscawen. So you just park here and you go through the field and you'll see the trailhead right through the woods, and it has a nice kiosk sign and it describes where you're located and where you can go. The trail is excellent condition. It's hard-packed gravel. It's wide. It's shaded. You have to go underneath roadways. They provided nice tunnels, so you'll encounter quite a few of those throughout the trail. There's also a lot of wooden bridges that you'll go over. Sometimes you'll cross over dirt roads, which are either excavation companies or farmer's field or to a local resident. So just watch for cars. They do have stop signs at each intersection. You can continue down the line and then you'll find Mirror Lake. This is a beautiful lake. You can't actually access the water, but you can see it from the trail. It's very pretty. It has the mountains in the background. The next section of the trail leads you through a nature preserve. So it's a very quiet, shady bike ride for several miles. Zooming out on the Northern Rail Trail, you'll see Tewksbury Pond. This section is particularly nice if you wanted to walk some of the Northern Rail Trail because you can access it on many spots along Route 4. You can't actually get into the water because it's owned by private residents, but there is a boat launch at the end of this dirt road here. After leaving Tewksbury Pond, you're going to be on the rail trail for quite a while in the woods without a way to get out, so plan accordingly. You're going to travel all the way down to Grafton. Grafton does not have any place to eat. It does have a country store. I didn't stop into that store at the time, but there is some places where you can park to get in and out of the trail at this point. Zooming out, you can see that this is Grafton where we just were, and we're going to go all along through the woods down to Danbury. Danbury is a place where you can get some food and some drinks, and there's even a charging station if you have an e-bike. But along this whole route, there's really no way of getting food or drink. Sometimes there's side trails that go to a restaurant, which is always nice when you see those signs. Danbury Center is a popular place to pick up the trail, so you'll see a really well-marked trailhead at that location. We're going to continue heading south. We're going to go back into the woods again. There's really no place to get food or water or getting in and out of the trail at that point, although you can go to road sections along the way. You'll go over lots of bridges. You'll go through some tunnels, very well maintained. We're going to get all the way down to Potter's Place. This is a railroad station that is being renovated. They ask for donations if you are interested. There's a nice little sitting area here if you wanted to take a break. It has an antique train pulled off to the side. There's parking for the rail trail if you want to enter or exit in this location. There is a market, but it wasn't open at the time. After leaving Potter's Station, you'll go back into the woods. It's very cool, very well maintained. Same expectation from the Northern Trail that you have already experienced. You might pass an excavation site. There is a farmer's field. And then this is a really nice location that you don't want to miss. It's a covered bridge, so take a few seconds to go over the bridge, back on the trail, go over a wooden bridge. Let me zoom out so you can see exactly where we are. So we have Potter's Place over here, and then we're going through the woods again all the way up to Andover. In Andover, right off the Northern Rail Trail, You'll find a nice beach that you can go to. It's very quiet, really nice park. There's a barbecue grill that you could use. There's bathrooms here. The water is shallow and warm. I did see water skiers on it, so it's big enough to bring a boat on. And there's a boat launch in this area up here. Highland Lake Inn has been very helpful in providing a charging station, so you just need to ride up Maple Street and they have a sign that shows you where you can plug in your bike. Zooming back out and leaving Andover, there were no restaurants in Andover that I could see. So we're back in the woods again, going through beautiful farms, very nice, quiet ride. A lot of people on this stretch, and it ends at Webster Lake. So here's another spot where if you wanted to sit by the water and take a break or have something to eat, this would be a good time. But you have to really pack your own food because there was no places to eat between Highland Lake and Webster Lake or at either of those locations. Zooming back out, you can see we are now at Webster Lake and we're going to continue on to our last journey to Boscawen. This is going through the city of Franklin. There's really no place to get off and get something to eat, so again you'll have to pack it in, or same thing with water. It's very nice, shaded, hard packed. You go through the woods at some sections where you might encounter a few other bikers or walkers or people walking their dogs. You're going to go along this river, which is very pretty, especially if it was wintertime where the leaves were down. You probably could see the water a lot better. Zooming in a little bit closer as we get closer to the final destination of the Northern Rail Trail, you can see that we're passing through a lot of farmers' fields. There's the Merrimack River. There was some farm stands along the way. And then I want to show you up close how to get to the actual park and ride so that you can get to your car. So zooming in even closer, we are at the final destination of the Northern Rail Trail in Boscawen. You have to leave the farmer's field and get onto a road called River Road, and you'll pass a few houses. It's a very quiet residential road, and you'll ride down the street to Commercial Street, and you'll see a kiosk there that shows that it's Northern Rail Trail head, and you can also park at the Park and Ride, which is a popular destination for getting on the trail. So there you have it. We have just went from Canaan, New Hampshire all the way down to Boscawen, New Hampshire on the Northern Rail Trail. Overall, the conditions were excellent. Everything was well marked. There were a lot of people on the trails, but not too many. There were bikers, there were people walking dogs, there were people hiking, there was horses. In the winter, I'm sure there are snowmobiles. I did not do this last section from Canaan to Lebanon. I hope to do that in the future, and I hope that you'll tune in and see that trail as well. Thank you very much, and I hope that you found this useful.